Hello everyone, welcome to the 271st meeting of Toastmaster of Delhi. Here at Toastmaster of Delhi, we provide a positive and a supportive environment where the members are empowered to develop public speaking skills and leadership skills, resulting in greater personal growth and self-confidence. Today's meeting is very interesting. The theme for today is the office, something that has changed drastically over the last one and a half years, making some of us a bit uncomfortable and making some of us aware of the amount of flexibility that it has brought into our lives. Before we go ahead with the meeting, I would like to present some of the housekeeping rules. Please avoid talking about religion, sex, and politics. In case of any technical glitches, please contact our technical guru, Toastmaster Rohan. Add TM in front of your names if you are a Toastmaster, and add the name of the role if you are playing any role, as it would be make it easy to identify who are the Toastmasters, the guests, and the role players. Um, Please have an audio video check if you are going to deliver a speech. If you are not talking, please be on mute to avoid any distraction. If you are going to transfer the control of the stage to another Toastmaster, please do it by displaying a high five or a namaste. Please avoid typing anything in the chat while the speaker is delivering his speech to avoid any distractions. And last but not the least, please be on video mode, as we are practicing public speaking here, and it would be very incomplete if the speaker would not be able to look at the audience. With that, I would like to transfer the control to our very dedicated, very charming, very responsible, and a very efficient multitasker, Toastmaster Rohan. Over to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Toastmaster Simranjeet, and welcome everyone to the 271st meeting of Toastmasters of Delhi. Toastmaster International is almost a 96-year-old organization. It was started in 1924 by Ralph C. Smedley, and over the last close to 100 years, Toastmasters International is spread across more than 145 countries and more than 400,000 active members so far in over 16,000 clubs worldwide. So it's a worldwide organization which provides public speaking and leadership skills to its members. And I'm super excited for all of you to be here. Today is a very exciting meeting among all the festivities that are going on in India right now. So welcome everyone to our meeting today. Before we proceed, I'd like to get a sense of who the guests are today's meeting. We have a lot of visiting Toastmasters. Toastmaster Abhijit, can we have your introduction, please? Where you're from and what brings you here today?
Going for the contest, but if it happens
Rohan,
before,
I am Abhijit.
so
I am
a
member of Delhi Toastmasters Club, and I am Toastmaster for the last 1 year. Today in this meeting, I'll be evaluating our speeches. Thank you.
Welcome, Abhijit, and thanks so much for joining us today. Toastmaster Shuchi is also here, who's the speaker for today. Toastmaster Shuchi, can we have your introduction, please, and your Toastmaster experience so far?
Hi, Rohan. Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me. I always love joining these meetings, and especially the clubs other than my home club. I've been in this fraternity for almost 4 years, and learning never stops. So just looking forward to the meeting. Thank you.
Absolutely. Very excited to have you here, Toastmaster Shuchi, and looking forward to your speech.
Thank you.
All right, let's see who else is here. Our general evaluator, Toastmaster Simran. Toastmaster Simran, can we have your quick introduction, please? Where you're from? You've been a regular at our meetings, but for those of us who've joined us, for all the new faces here, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, sure, Toastmaster Rohan. So I am Simran, Toastmaster Simran from TMSL Club, and I have recently completed my graduation from the Delhi University, Hansraj College. With this, I'm just member of this Toastmaster, and I was looking forward to have meetings with especially Toastmaster Rohan and Toastmaster Simranjeet, because I know these people and these charming people. So yes, that's why I came here. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Simran. Thanks so much for joining us today again. Great, always great to have you in our meetings. Thank you so much. Toastmaster Chintan, can we have your introduction, please? You joined us last time as well, but introduce yourself for the club again.
Yeah, so good afternoon, everyone, and it is always great to attend a meeting especially when Toastmaster Rohan and few familiar faces I can see. And I have known almost everyone by watching your videos on YouTube by the club. And I belong to the club of Eloquent Toastmasters. And today I'll be playing a timer. Thank you very much and looking forward for a great session.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chintan, for joining us and taking up a role today. Thank you. All right. With that, I am also your Toastmaster of the day, which means that today we'll be talking about the theme, The Office. How many of you have seen the series The Office with Steve Carell and all those wonderful guys? Raise your hands and show a thumbs up in Zoom. Anyone? Any fans? Okay, Toastmaster Zakaria. Can you talk about how your office is compared to the office in, as Michael Scott describes it? Toastmaster Zakaria, can you share your thoughts, please?
Hi, Rohan. Hello, hi everyone. Sorry, I'm in a place where I can't switch on the camera.
Hi, Zakaria. Can you compare your current office to the one that with Michael Scott? What would you like to be different in your current office, and what would you like to be changed, to be brought over from TV to real life?
Yeah. So I wish, I could switch on the camera and show it too. I'm also in my current office right now. So this is also very similar to, probably not as fancy as the office in Michael Scott's company. But in terms of at least the work culture, it's very similar. We all keep joking around and a lot of practical jokes that keeps happening. There is always an element of fun. I wish, one day we will also get a TV producer guys coming here and shooting everything, and so that we can actually record it and show it to everyone. So situation is more or less like a regular office itself.
Absolutely, very well put. I think we'd all like to document our office lives on camera for the world to see. So thank you so much for sharing. Any other members or guests want to share their thoughts on what they think of office relative to Michael Scott's office?
I have a question.
Yes.
Who is Michael Scott and what is this office we are talking about?
The Office is a TV show, Toastmaster Gopal, that is very popular, and Michael Scott is played by Steve Carell, the famous actor who plays a manager in The Office, and he's sort of been portrayed as a very fun-loving and kind of very unconventional boss who plays around always, doesn't do any work, and so on and so forth. So I highly recommend you check it out. It's a very good comedy series that came back many years ago.
Okay, so he's like a dreaming boss.
Yes,
whom you
very much,
only
very
dream.
much.
You can dream, yeah.
All right, so the office as we know it before COVID and the office after COVID has undergone a drastic change. Imagine that you're going to your office, going to your metro, thinking about what you will do at work. You enter office and see all those bright, sometimes dull faces around you of your colleagues who dread going to the office every day and dealing with the challenges, the pains, your managers, your office problems, and so on and so forth. Today, all of that has undergone a big change. Now, all you can do is get up from your bed, walk for a minute or so, and you've reached your office in the room next door. And everything has changed because everything has become virtual. You interact, you don't see anyone in person. You keep having online meetings and so on and so forth. So today we are going to appreciate the value of being physical in the office throughout the meeting. Today's office of Toastmaster Delhi has 3 sessions during the day. First session is the prepared speeches section, where we have 2 awesome speakers who will be delivering the speeches according to the objectives of the speech projects as per the pathways. The second session is our table topic session conducted by our very own Toastmaster Kabir Talwar. He'll be giving you topics to speak on the spot, and you'll have to test your impromptu speaking skills in this manner. And finally, we have our auditor, also known as the general evaluator for today's meeting, and our auditor to our office, who will be conducting a thorough review of our office procedures, our office protocols of Toastmasters of Delhi, the general evaluator, Toastmaster Simran. So this is the structure of our Toastmasters meeting. And with that, I'd like to call on Toastmaster Simran as the general evaluator to introduce her role and the auxiliary role players.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rohan. As Toastmaster Rohan said, that I am the general evaluator for today's meeting. So my responsibility is to evaluate each and every role players. But as being a general evaluator, I will be evaluating after all the evaluators, and I will be calling all the auxiliary role players to introduce. So let's have some introduction of all the auxiliary role players. So we have our timer, Toastmaster Chintan Seth. So may I have Toastmaster Chintan? Yeah. May I have Toastmaster Chintan?
Sorry, it was an glitch.
Yeah.
How many of you agree that time management is essential? Just raise your hand if you believe that time management is essential. Great. I can see a lot of hands, but I partially agree to that statement because time management is nothing but essentially self-management. Because time is something we can never earn, just like we earn money or we can save for tomorrow. It all depends how we use it. So essentially it is self-management. No matter in what field we are or as an individual, we always have to respect the time and adjust ourselves so that we can be more productive and more efficient in whatever we do. As a Toastmaster today, for us, stage time is most important. And I am here as a timer for you to help you achieve that time which you are looking for. I would be showing green card whenever the time reaches the qualification, speech reaches the qualification time. I'll show the yellow card when the time limit is the min time, and the maximum time limit when it reaches, I'll show the red card. Regarding the time limits, let me share my screen. So this is the structure that the prepared speeches would have 5 to 7 minutes. I'll show green card at 5, yellow at 6, and red at 7. For table topics, it would be 1 to 2 minutes. So green card at 1, yellow at 2, and red at 3. Yellow card at 1.5 minutes, and red card at 2 minutes. And for evaluation, it would be 2 to 3 minutes. So I would be showing green card at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2 and 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and red signal at the 3 minutes. Whenever called upon on the stage at the end of the meeting by general evaluator, I shall present my report accordingly. Over to you, general evaluator.
Chintan, I don't know in what perspective timing is important in your life, but I'm very fond of watching Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma, and I saw there that there was Popat Lal who got late only for 2 to 3 minutes, and his marriage got cancelled, and ever since he is still unmarried. So you can see that the power of time and the power of be punctual. So yes, the time tracking is really, really important in everyone's life. As timing is important, see, our fluency is also matters. Whenever we go in any interview or whenever we talk to any person, we should be confident. If we use I should be confident, I am Simran, how does it sound? Definitely not confident, and it's going to reject you from the interviews. So for this, to curtail all these ahs and ums in your speech, we have our Toastmaster Neha Latwal. So may I have Toastmaster Neha Latwal for her introduction?
Thank you, General Evaluator Simran. I am the R counter of the day. Filler words and crutches causes interruption in the speech, which further distract the attention of the audience. As a result, they reduce the impact of the speech. My role is to make a note of pauses, filler words used by the speakers in the role players. Filler words are like, you know, so, I mean, well. In addition, unintentional sounds like and long pauses. I will note it all the things. I will submit my report during the general evaluation session. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Neha. So after being a punctual person, after curtailing all the ahs and ums from our speech, grammar also plays a very important role in our speech, right? So for this grammar, to correcting all the grammar mistakes, we have our Toastmaster Simranjit Kaur. So may I have Toastmaster Simranjit Kaur?
Thank you. Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Grammars do play a very important role when it comes to communication skills. So let me introduce the word of the day and the idiom of the day today. The word of the day is upbeat. That means cheerful and optimistic. An example can go like, he was very upbeat about his new project. He was very upbeat about the company's future. The idiom of the day is taking the bull from its horns. So that means facing a difficult situation very bravely. So, example can go like this. There was a lot of mess going around in the team, but the manager took the bull from its horns and got everything sorted out. So I would like to invite the volunteers who would like to try these words and the idiom of the day and the word of the day. Anyone? Any member, please do come and yes, Toastmaster Abhijit.
Volunteering for the table topics would be like taking the bull by its horn. And I am really upbeat about it.
Great take on that. Anyone else? Anyone else who would like to try it? Come on. One more person, please. Toastmaster Vandita, would like to try? No? Anyone else? Okay, so I would be looking forward to the usages ahead in the meeting, and I would be noting down all the usages, and every usage would be appreciated with a thumbs up. I would present my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you very much, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Simranjit Kaur. But here I have an urge to you. Please write in the chat box so that everyone can watch this and use appropriately. So after being a punctual, eliminating all the ahs and ums, being a grammar perfect, and but before all these things, the most important thing to listen each and every question, each and every word, because this plays very important role. If you are not able to listen properly, how would you answer that question, right? So for this active listening, we have our Toastmaster Rohan Bansal for this stage. So it goes to you, Toastmaster Rohan.
No? It's Toastmaster Dishant.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's me. Hello everyone, myself Dishant Batra. Today I will be playing the role of active listener, which is the auxiliary role. So in this role, I will be actively listening about all the conversation that will be happening in the meeting, and will be noting down all the points so that I can frame the question and ask those questions at the end of general evaluation report. So there's very important saying that I've heard. People will forget what you did. People will forget what you made them. People will forget how you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. So in this meeting, how can you make someone special? So you can make them special by actively listening and answering the questions that I will be framing at the end of the general evaluation report. I hope you will be actively listening all the speeches and the conversation in this meeting and make this meeting enjoyable. Thank you so much.
Why not? When we have speaker like Vandita and there's a Shochi Jain, so why will not be active listener? So yes, thank you so much. And these auxiliary role players come under the umbrella of general evaluator, and I will be evaluating all these people. So whenever my turn will come. So till then, this stage goes back to our Toastmaster Rohan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Simran, for setting the stage up for the meeting. Now, when you think about an office, when you went to the office physically, what did you use to escape from all the boredom of the daily work and chores? Was it the office games, or was it something else? So can anyone talk about any peculiar office games that they played in the office to escape all the boredom? Any thoughts on what did you do to escape the boredom? What games did you play? What activities did you do? Anyone? Any thoughts?
Can I?
Yes, please.
Okay, so there used to be one game in which one of the HR used to come and she used to convert all the Hindi songs to English. Now the funny part used to happen was, since we were like North Indian, so we used to get. Now imagine the Hyderabadi people or the Chennai people singing the Hindi songs. You know, first they are actually guessing from English version to Hindi, and songs like Churi Khangegi, Vidya Chakki, all these, you know, these Tamil, South Indian people, it was hilarious. You know, any North Indian could, you know, like control his stomach while speaking. And those people used to be the managers. So you can just imagine what the environment used to be. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing, Toastmaster Vandita. Any other thoughts, any other games you guys used to play in your office or any activities? All right, yes, please.
Well, I'm yet to be an employee, but being a student, what I do to skip all my lectures, I just play Sudoku and do gossip with my friends. This is the best part to do whenever I feel anything boredom.
Thank you. I think you'll be doing that in the office also. Like office, Sudoku is very popular in the office as well. All right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Simran. With that, we now come to the start of the prepared speeches section. This section, we have two speakers, Toastmaster Shuchi and Toastmaster Vandita, who have prepared the speeches according to objectives set by Toastmasters International. I encourage all of you to please encourage them by switching on your video and showing all the love via Zoom reactions or typing out in the chat what you think of the speeches. So with that, I'd like to now start with the first speaker, Toastmaster Shuchi. Before I call her up on stage, I'd like to call her Evaluator, Toastmaster Sagar, to read out the speech objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rohan, for calling me on the stage. And hello, fellow.
You're on mute, Sagar.
Yeah.
So today, speaker is level 1 speech 2 from the pathways, effective coaching, and the purpose of the project is for the member to present a speech on any topic.
You're on mute, Toastmaster Sagar. And I think he's stuck.
Yeah, he's stuck.
Sagar, are you here?
I think the screen is frozen.
Yeah. All right. So should we proceed with the second?
He's here, I guess. He's here.
Sagar? Sagar, you're on mute?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, Sagar, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes. Shall I start? Yeah.
Yes.
So, speech 2 from the pathways, effective coaching. And the purpose of the project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback on the next speech. I wish speaker best of luck for her speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Rohan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sagar. All right, so Toastmaster Shuchi is a Toastmaster for over 3.5 years. She's currently serving as an area director in Northern India, and she's working with TCS in the diversity and inclusion team. She believes in empowering individuals and loves to read, do yoga and calligraphy in her free time. So Toastmaster Shuchi, the power of saying no. The power of saying no, Toastmaster Shuchi.
Rohan, can you just confirm if I'm audible?
Yes, you are.
9th September 2019. My date called me at a time and place of his choice. September 2020, a year later, my boss made me work on a weekend that I was dying to arrive, that too her personal work. And recently, September 2021, I met my school friend 20 years later. And you know what happened? He made me pay for the booze he had against my wish. Now, what is common in all these three situations? What's common is I failed to say no. No seemed a word very heavy to come out of the mouth. Have you ever seen another woman whose face says she's utterly uncomfortable, but her words tell you she couldn't feel better? When a woman fails to say no, what really goes on into her mind? Does she not want to displease people? Does she not want to create a scene? Does she not want to break the norm? What is it? And in such a situation, the turbulence that goes on into her mind, if you remove all the filters, she would wreak havoc. And imagine the guilt of another woman who theoretically knows that once she says no in an assertive manner, she wouldn't have to do things she doesn't want. But every time she finds herself in such a situation, she feels powerless. However, this art or this inability to use this art of saying no is not restricted to just women. The tables may rotate and it could come to other people as well. Let's take men, for example. There are many men around the world who would display a facade of toxic masculinity just to fit into that mold that society has given them, to feel man enough, or I should say man enough. They would show aggression, they would show power, dominance, and do things that are not required. But there also exist other men who are their natural, gentler selves and who are not ashamed of complying to requests from other people. But when the society sees them doing something they shouldn't be doing as per their standards, they become the object of mockery, especially when they comply to requests from the weaker sex. But what's noteworthy here is that they are not to be condemned. They are not to be ridiculed or mocked or shamed. And this situation is as condemnable as when you would have a woman on the receiving end. The fact that regardless of who is on the receiving end and regardless of the gender, which, please note, happens to be on a spectrum, everybody, every person has the power in them to put their foot down and say no. And no third person has the key to say and use you like a toy. No comes from a firm resolve that you have and you deserve to live life on your own conditions. You cannot please everyone. Just whatever you say, everybody cannot be pleased. So why not? Why not just speak your mind without fear? Ladies and gentlemen, strength does not come from accepting what the world throws at you. It comes from asking what you want non-negotiably. And it is not your responsibility of how others react to your decisions. It is not your problem at all. What is your problem is that your identity needs to be preserved. And nobody else can come and tell you that you have to live their way. So next time, when you find yourself in such a difficult situation and you want to say no, it's right here at the tip of your tongue. What do? Just remember two words: choice and voice. C is for choice, which means you have the choice to do things. You have the power to choose, and it is your life. V meaning voice. You have a voice that needs to be heard. And when you make yourself heard, you pave the way for others, which gives them the strength and the inspiration to take a stand for themselves. Remember, let's make it a point that next time our face and our words are in sync. And like Amitabh Bachchan said in his movie, Pink, no means no. And it is indeed a complete statement. What are you going to say no to next, Mr. TMOD? Over to you.
Wow, thank you so much, Toastmaster Shuchi, for such an empowering and an enthusiastic speech. It gave me goosebumps from head to toe. So thank you for that message and for sharing your perspective on that. I forgot to share Toastmaster Shuchi's introduction, that when I asked her what is her favorite office memory, most memorable office memory, she said that with her last team, she worked as one. They all worked as one without comparison and competition. So that is the most ideal situation for any speaker or any team player. So excellent work done, Toastmaster Shuchi. And I request all of you to give feedback for Toastmaster Shuchi's speech in the link I posted in the Zoom chat. While you're voting, I would like to request to move on with the next speech before Toastmaster Vandita. Before I call her up on stage, I'd like to call our evaluator, Toastmaster Abhijit, to read out the speech objectives, please.
Very good afternoon, one and all, and very special good afternoon to Toastmaster Vandita. So Toastmaster Vandita will be attempting her level 4 project 2 in her effective coaching pathway. The purpose of her project is managing a difficult audience. So for this, the member needs to practice the skills needed to address the audience challenges when she speaks outside of the Toastmasters Club. All the best, Toastmaster Vandita. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abhijit. Toastmaster Vandita is also on the effective coaching path, same as Toastmaster Shuchi. Toastmaster Vandita is delivering her level 4 project 2. And Toastmaster Vandita has been a long-standing member with Toastmasters of Delhi. She has been participating for a long time with us. So I'm super excited to have her here in the meeting today. When I asked Toastmaster Vandita what is her favorite office memory, she said one time her manager started singing. And I think we would all love to be in that situation where a very serious looking manager goes into singing mode. So with that, Toastmaster Vandita, when I was betrayed, Toastmaster Vandita.
I lost it. That's what we think when we address a failure. And just like anybody else, I thought exactly the same. Started walking in haste, just as to find answers for my defeat. I ate a lot of biscuits, drank a couple of gallons of water, and started questioning myself. How could I? That's not me. Well, that's exactly not me. The 3M version of myself was burning in anger and dilemma. You heard it right. It was dilemma. Dilemma of fear, disappointment, failure. It's true that I lost the game, but was it really a defeat? This question struck like an arrow in my head. And I just reversed 30 minutes of my life and started to recollect the traces that I had left behind in the dark. I still remember I was betrayed by my fellow teammates in a competition. I could see the blurred excuses, their faces, and my helpless situation. I felt that my world has fallen apart. The people with and for whom I worked relentlessly, the work which swept away all my blood and sweat, was just denied to me right before me. Swollen in disgrace, I found no way to bring back my reputation. How would I face them? What would happen now? Will everyone insult me? Is this all? Lost in questions, I returned back to my captive. That night, I couldn't sleep and woke up. I was restless and afraid. But now that I was recollecting the traces, I found exactly what was happening and what fault was exactly mine. Trusting people, not being their favorite, working relentlessly, expecting good from others. Well, these are just few of the activities that a normal Homo sapien does. And how could I be different? After all, I was also a human being. So I took a chair, sat down, and pondered upon how to deal with it. It wasn't a failure, and I had to accept it. Slowly, I understood what was happening and enlightened myself with a divine truth. You only fail when you treat yourself like one. Millions of people, ladies and gentlemen, are betrayed now and then at varied instances in their life. For me, it was professionally personal, but for Steve Jobs and others, it was strictly professional. I still remember I was working with a team on a project. A lot of work was completed, and I was super excited that yes, we are going to perform. The slot has been booked, the team is ready. But the slot that was booked and the team that was ready, in that there was no picture of mine. My friends call up and tell me, hey Vandita, your project is on the board, but we can't see you. Why were you not there in the rehearsals?
Vandita, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay. So did you face the people who sort of betrayed you? And if yes, how did you manage to have that courage to face them and tell them on their faces that they have betrayed?
Yes. Now that I was telling you, my friends called me up and they said, why were you not there in the rehearsals? I still remember I took a cab and I went back to the college, and there I see my head of the department sitting and the students there. And my only question was, if this project is being put, where is my name? She said, we'll think about it. And you understand that your head of the department is there and you are merely a student in second year. You are in no authority to question that person. She gave me one speaking area wherein I could just explain the project. But that was not it. The situation happened when after a week, I couldn't console myself that, this happened to me. I was the project lead and suddenly I became some small entity on the day of the display, and the HOD did this to me. So what I did was, after a week, I just went there and I questioned her and asked her, "Ma'am, why did you do this to me?" Now she said, "I have always been with you. I have always supported you, but I heard that you were conspiring against me." These were the words from her. I was thoroughly broken down, and I came back out of the window. And just a moment, I was just recapitulating myself. And when I saw those bunch of students again going inside and they are having a laughter and giggling, and so I understood, that was all planned, plotted. And now even if I enter the room, I know that this person had conspired against me. They had planned the betrayal, and if I stand before them, I will feel insulted. I will face those students and I will feel, these students will feel how dumb she is, how fool she is. She couldn't understand that this all was happening and she was just in her own feathers of dreams. So these kind of situations happen when someone betrays you and you suddenly realize that, oh, this has happened. And now you feel that if you will go stand before them, these people will insult you. And same questions I had in my head. But then there is one truth that we have to enlighten ourselves with, and that is, we only fail when we treat ourselves like that. You cannot survive in this world without trusting people with things. You lose in crucial games when your team will back out and you will be left alone. It's obvious that you will be kicked out of organizations, waved off with nothing, and left abandoned. You'll find it tough to bring back your reputation. But is it really it? No. Little do you know that people, organizations, and commitments are temporary. They'll be forgotten, lost, and left someday. But there is a constant, and that is you, right? Even when those people had betrayed me, I had the courage to go even after a week, I had the courage to go and say to that teacher, look, madam, you did this and you did that. I still remember I resigned from the post of the society that I was in. I was the president that time, and I happily resigned from that post. Fortunately, she was that time in my Toastmasters club as well, and she was serving as the area director. I resigned from the Toastmasters club as well that time. The feeling was so hard and so terrible that now I cannot even go stand before the audience because I used to be a very known face then. And I cannot even perform the Toastmasters wherein I find so much of happiness. In such a situation, also when, Toastmasters is such a knit circle, but COVID was not there then, and we were in a very remote city. So a lot of people didn't have the facility to come and visit our clubs. So it was fine. Still, my embarrassment was just limited to 3 or 4 clubs. The news broke out like a fire, and everybody got to know that, I'm having some tiff with this woman. And I still believe I released a story of mine. And those days, I won a division championship, and I was the only and the first ever person from my club who represented my club in a division championship. I won there, I bought some trophies and all, and I released a press paper on Humans of District 41. And I had a beautiful version of hers, and I wrote there that she was the one who mentored me, who guided me, and who brought me to this position where I am. And that year, I just not won one trophy, I won 2 of them. So I had a very good display of her. And I took the link and wrote a beautiful message and messaged it to her on the WhatsApp. And there was one paragraph of message that was sent to me, and it said, it is a failure as a teacher that I couldn't handle you. You were some very close person to me, and all of this and that. So suddenly I was in a moment that, oh my God, I am so bad a student. So guilty of myself that I did this to her. Suddenly so much of guilt came in. And then I told this to my mentor, and he said, no, Vandita, it was not fault of yours. She is just passing on her blame to you so that you feel guilty and you come in that sorry mode because you were the only student who stood before her. Now, things were not only this. If it had been, the story would have ended. I realized that what this teacher used to do was, she used to take the money from the students and used to tell them that I have enrolled you in the Toastmasters. Now, when I was in that position of authority, I used to ask those people, go visit your club center, go to the Pathways Base Camp, get your projects downloaded. And suddenly those people used to realize that they don't have the access to dashboard. I hope you understood what happened. She didn't pay the fee. Now, she used to hold it up when she could, pay the fee in the end of the cycle. But this was no justice to the students who enrolled. You were completely backstabbing those people. So I understood against whom I was standing, who was this powerful person. So I stood very stiffly. I changed my club. I went to the other one because they were openly accepting me. And the other year, I realized that she has left the Toastmasters and she has just said she will never return back. And I was so happy with this decision because it was not just me. It was not that a mere student stood up against her. It was because whatever she used to do in a 4x4 cabinet was now out. Now, students knew that they were not visible on their dashboard. Their money has been utilized in such and such way. A big drama, a big betrayal. It all started from not getting a position on a project display and leading to all this. This cycle was tough. I lost my fame, fame in the sense because I couldn't perform now. But I graduated from the college and slowly the COVID came. So it didn't even bother much. And now when I sit back and realize what happened, I think that I did justice to the students who were with me. I did justice to the students who, who could never raise their voice against such teachers. And lately in the college, what happened was her strata also declined. Like she used to be a very celebrated teacher, and now she doesn't experience that sort of feeling. So one thing we must need to analyze is that you have to trust yourselves before trusting others. That even if they leave, you are able to build back your empire again, just like how I did. It's just mere 2-3 steps, months of embarrassment, and again, everything will be back to normal. You have to actually become your favorite first so that critics don't break your spirit even with their insults. I used to see those students, eating chole bhature together in the canteen and rejoicing, or maybe hosting a show and so on and so forth. But it didn't disturb me because I slowly understood that my worth is not just limited to this college arena. Third is you have to work on your skills so that nobody will ever be able to see you. And I still remember that somebody told me that in engineering, when you graduate, it is all about your package that you receive and nothing else. And when my placement, I gave a hackathon and I was in top 100 of a company. I was celebrated throughout the campus. So that time I analyzed that after 1 year of hard work on my skills, I gained back my fame that I think I lost somewhere. And the last thing, you have to expect from yourself that you will not lose hope when they advise.
Hi, Vandita, I have a question, if I may ask.
Sure.
Now that you've mentioned of all the achievements, don't you think sometimes it doesn't let you face failure and it just gets to your head and you find difficult to improve on yourself? What do you have to say about that?
Okay, so I'll explain you with a very small notion that in an engineering college, when you are in, the elitist of the people are said to be the ones who speak English fluently. I don't know how many of you will agree, because there is a plethora of people who are not that very versed with English. And the other elitist group used to be the ones who used to dance or sing. And fortunately, I used to be one among them. Now the entire batch of that society had betrayed me. And just imagine that the girl who used to stand and perform suddenly has no opportunity to stand. Imagine there are such big fests are happening. So many big ceremonies, conferences are happening, and she's not involved anywhere. So people are coming back to questions, why are you not there? Oh, I heard you had a rift with that teacher. Do you analyze how much it would have costed, the mental trauma would have costed for a student? Because suddenly she was getting all spoiled, defamed, people were gossiping about. So it was 1 year of trauma that I went through, 1 year of embarrassment where I couldn't talk to anyone. In that situation, if you do not power or supply yourself with the achievements that you have had, you can slowly get to a position wherein you will not be able to even stand before someone and even explain who you are. So let's analyze that there is the Olympic player. He gets his leg broken. He cannot run again. He's already in the trauma. Would you like to tell him again that, oh, your leg is broken, you cannot perform in another Olympics? Or will you tell them that, look, you are the person who reached till the Olympics, it's just your leg broken and you'll be back again. Just remember what you have had in the past. So this is the psychology you need to adopt. Obviously, things will not go against you. Your failures will be bigger than your achievements. But if you will not supply your achievements to your brain will stop functioning and you will lead to a situation of psychosis. So I hope you don't want to be in that trauma. So when people say that, oh, she's so self-obsessed, oh, he is so arrogant, oh, he is so into herself, that she cannot stop talking about herself. It's all the achievements that she's speaking. Little do you know that they are empowering themselves by reminding themselves again and again that yes, they are capable of. And in this world where each one of us is ready to point fingers at you, you have to be your friend that has to remind yourself that you are capable of and you are one worthy citizen in this planet Earth. I hope now your so-called failure would have got decoded. So when you feel traumatized, when you feel betrayed, when you feel all sad, and when you start crying, when you feel embarrassed, you just behave like any other normal person. But there is one thing that you need to realize. Tomorrow, if you're betrayed, you need to analyze that it's not your loss. Obviously, it's their loss on basis of integrity and righteousness. But you will commit a sin if you will start blaming others and will spend your worthy time in lamenting at others. I still remember I used to call my mentor, have 2 hours of clock and just 2 hours of talks, and just used to, tell, how did this happen? Why did I trust her so much? And how will I face it? Where is my self-esteem? Everything. And I used to cry like a baby, cry. And 1 year I wasted. Out of my 4-degree graduation, I wasted 1 year. It's a huge amount of time that I wasted. And I don't want the other person to do the same. Be like a river. Pass on these banks. Harness fertility to your soul and your surroundings. And the most effective way is to say that yes, this all happened and I don't want to talk about it. Simple, super. Today, when I'm telling you, I am not pointing fingers to those people or anybody else. I'm just telling you how I revived myself from them. There are 2 situations. One is the situation in which you consider yourself as a victim. And another is the situation in which you just narrate and tell the inference and talk about how you recovered. So do you want to be the victim one or you want to be the narrator? You have to decide yourself. And just enlighten yourself with one truth, that you only fail when you treat yourself like one. Betrayal is not a defeat. Any questions? Anyone? I would love to hear anybody's encounters or their tough situations, because in my life, I was in those situations many a times, but this was something huge for me, I think, considering the amount of time it took and considering the person against whom I was standing.
I have one question. So this incident happens in the college, and at that time, I hope we as are not that mature. So what do you think? If you were mature more, then you would have handled in a better way, or it should be the same way?
I think I was mature then. There was a parallel thought that was running in my mind, and that was to complain again. Obviously, I had the proof of the students whose fee was not submitted. Second, because I had developed the project, so I had all those things with me, database, right? So I had enough proof, and I was completely adamant to complaining about hers, right? And I was in my thought process, like I was convincing myself, going pros and cons. And there was one conference, and obviously I was the IPP of my club. So I was invited. I was just sitting there doing nothing. There were friends of mine who had come from the Delhi, and being the resident of here, so I knew those people beforehand. They had come, they were just giving a presentation, and I saw that, there is a 5 minutes tea break, right? And I saw that she is standing with them and she's saying something. I was really taken aback because at this moment, what I was thinking was, I'm just a mere club member, right? She is at such a position. People will obviously believe her. Who is going to believe me? And this question, I just called my mentor. Immediately I called. And I said, sir, this is happening. How should I bear it? Should I go back? Like, should I go from the meeting? Escape? So he said, you need to understand this. If you go from the meeting, it will be henceforth proved that yes, she was guilty. If you sit there and don't talk about it, like don't even give a hint that you have just guessed what they would be speaking, you now know that what other people would be speaking. You will come out as a very strong person who is ready to face them. So I took that thing, and inside out, I was shivering. I was literally shivering. And there was the so-called president, who was my junior, who had like a big role in that conspiracy. She was standing there, and then she, called me up, presented me a memento or something, and I went back again. And I still remember, when the whole conference ended, we were traveling together, and I asked those people, "How are you, and what is all happening?" Those people politely replied to me back. After a few days, I could connect with them, have a talk with them. But I analyzed, if I had, just run away from them or had complained against her, understand the kind of ruckus I would have created. The incident that was just known in this 4x4 cubicle or my college premises, or maybe in the 3-4 clubs, would have gone known to the division, or maybe broader than the division, right? Because such was the misdeed she did. Second was, if I go and complain against her in my college authorities, now what would have happened? An action would have taken against me as well. Because obviously she is a teacher, and in colleges, teachers get somewhat extra fandom. So I think I was very mature to be silent, to let myself grow, and let the karma decide. My time is also up. Back to TMOD.
All right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vandita, for such a wonderful speech. And I'd like you all to vote for the best speaker now. Toastmaster Shuchi and Toastmaster Vandita. You can also give your feedback to Toastmaster Vandita on the Zoom link. You have 30 seconds, and then we'll move on. All right, so now it's time to move on to the second section. Whenever you enter an office, you're always on your toes. Either your colleagues or your manager always ask you to do something on the spot, and which you're unprepared for. This next section of Toastmasters is one way of keeping yourself equipped and about taking the bull by its horn and giving your office work your best shot and giving it your all throughout the office day. So with that, I'd like to now call on our table topic master, Toastmaster Kabir, who's when I joined Toastmasters of Delhi 2.5 years back, Toastmaster Kabir was a member then, and he's a member now. So super excited to have him with us today. So Toastmaster Kabir, over to you as table topic master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rohan. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Table topics enable a member to develop the skills of impromptu speaking, to quickly organize and think on their feet. Table topics help in different spheres of life, be it in an interview, group discussions, or interacting with people. It provides a speaking opportunity for guests as well as members who have not had a chance to speak. Each speaker is required to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. 30 seconds will be given on the upper side. Any speaker speaking for less than a minute or more than 2 minutes 30 seconds will lead to disqualification. To challenge yourself, I encourage all of you to use the word of the day, upbeat. Let's begin the table topics. I would like somebody, a member, to take the bull by the horn, to catch the bull by the horn, and so that the guests can get a fair idea about the table topics. Toastmaster Gopal. Toastmaster Gopal, can you unmute yourself? Yes. So you can choose a number from 1 to 10 and I will give you a topic and then you speak on that.
I will choose 6 number.
Okay. Your topic for today is, what is your biggest phobia? What is your biggest phobia? Toastmaster Gopal, what is your biggest phobia? You have to speak on this.
Phobia.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting topic for me, because I will have to find out phobia. What is the phobia within me? But since this is a table topic session, so I will have to find out quickly that what is the phobia in me. Phobia about studying, reading? No, there is no such phobia. But yes, one phobia that I can see is when I go on the top floor, like 10th floor and the 12th floor, and I have a look at downside, then I always come back. No, I will fallen off. So I try to stay away from that situation. This is the small phobia in me, because my work profile is totally different and I don't go that much on higher floor, go and see the height. So the phobia is there, but it's not at all impacting on my life, because in my work profile or in my personal life, I avoid going at the upstairs, but that doesn't mean I don't go the hill station. I do go there in the hill station because I love nature. But yes, this is one of the phobia that I would say that I don't want in my life. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Kabir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gopal. As I understand, you have phobia of heights. I would also like to know, do you travel by air in your profession?
Yes, I have done that. And at that time, I don't have any phobia. But the phobia is only when I am looking from the height downstairs. Then I feel like, no, please stay away from here. Otherwise, I don't have that phobia that I am going on flight and it will crash. Not at all. I'm strong enough for that.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Gopal. I would now like to invite somebody from the guest section to come for the next topic. Anybody, any guest?
I think we have Sumit here. Sumit is a guest, I think.
Sumit, can you come on the stage so that we can be there? Can you switch on your video?
Okay, we can move on to someone else.
We can give it to Chintan. Chintan, you can switch on your mic, unmute yourself.
Yeah, please.
And select a number.
Request Toastmaster Rohan kindly time me if possible. Yeah, thank you.
So I would request you to choose a number from 1 to 10, but leave aside number 6, which was already taken.
First.
Number 1. Your topic for today would be, what life lesson did you learn the hard way? Chintan, what life lesson did you learn the hard way?
So I had been always a dreamer. I wanted big things in life. And I used to daydream, night dream. Every time I used to dream for the bigger goals in my life. Whenever I watch a movie, a character having great success, having posh life, great luxury cars, I used to dream myself as that person. I was not good at education at that time, but suddenly slowly I started getting up interest in my education, and I was getting upbeat about education and about my life. So I started to give myself some time to improve on myself, and suddenly I became obsessive. I became so much obsessive about success that I used not to care about my health or my body. There was only one thing. I am a big fan of law of attraction. and I am a very good visualizer. I can imagine things, and thanks to God or whatever you say, I see that happening in my life. But I ignored the part of my health, and I achieved so much in my life. I'm a considerably good stage of my life, be it personally or professionally. But I learned the lesson very hard that health should be the priority apart from other life aspects, be it money or be it anything else, either posh or luxury. And I have started working upon it. I have started taking the bull by its horns, and I have started jogging. I have started doing cycling, and I have started doing meditation and multiple things whichever I find and come across, trying to be productive at the same time. So the one lesson which I learned the hard way is the health is the key, because if you have life, you can do anything, and that is very simple thing to say and to hear. But for me, the realization came at a very late stage of my life. Although I knew it, but I was not conscious about it, and I was ignorant to it. So over to you, table topic host.
Thank you so much, Chintan. Very well usage of word of the day, and also you explained the topic very well. I would now like to invite on stage any other Toastmaster or some member or guest. Abhijit, you can come on the stage. Choose any number apart from number 1 and number 6.
Number 5.
Number 5. Your topic of the day would be what motivates you to be your best. Abhijit, your topic for today is what motivates you to be your best. Over to you.
Look into the mirror and ask yourself, are you doing justice to your dream? Are you being able to be a better version in every day? That is the one thing I used to do whenever I woke up in the morning. My better version of myself, I give the motivation from myself only. When I look through my life, I was not good at academics when I was in school. I was not in a good, proper health when I was in school. And later I realized that if you want to be successful and if you want to create some impact for the society, you need to take care of yourself first. I started reading. I started putting my all hard work to do good in academics. And finally, I landed up with a decent job. And when I landed up with a decent job, I got to know that I have got something else to do for myself, because I want to inspire people. I want to inspire the people around me. So for that, I need to first inspire myself. And my first ways of inspiring the people was to work on my communication skills and to work on my physical strength. I joined gym. For the first time, I lifted many weights. I ran the marathon. I went to the badminton academy to learn badminton professionally. And somehow, currently, I feel that I have the capabilities to inspire at least one of the members when I got to know from our fellow Toastmasters club, from my club, that yes, Abhijit, you inspires me in some aspects of life. So my inspiration was the first moment when I realized that I wanted to do something for my life. And every day, I always continuously asking myself that if I can do betterment in my life, then I can obviously inspire the others as well. I don't want to get settled down anyway in my life, because the learning is the one thing that will keep me motivated, that will keep me going throughout my entire life. I will learn and it will inspire me, and I can spread all this inspiration and positivity among others. Over to you, the topic master.
Thank you, Abhijit. Your speech was very inspiring, and you are a motivation for all of us. How you overcame all your obstacles and hurdles that you faced and came out victorious. Now, I would again like to welcome any member, a guest.
Simran raised
Simran, you can unmute yourself and select a number other than 1, 5, 6.
Okay, I would like to choose an even number 2.
Okay. Simran, your topic of the day is what's a belief that you hold with which many people disagree? Your topic again, I'll repeat. What is a belief that you hold which many people disagree? Over to you.
I believe in law of attraction, as Toastmaster Chintan also said. But most of the people totally deny for this that visualization, by doing visualization, we can manifest many things. But I totally agree. When you visualize something, it goes to your subconscious mind, and definitely you are going to work according to that. But only visualization is not enough. You have to take actions, and that's why you are unable to take your to make your dreams come true. I want to say only one thing, that why I believe in law of attraction, why I believe in this. I don't spell anything, I don't spell any magic. I just believe in my work. I just believe in my worth, in my hard work. Because when you believe in yourself, then you are going to send this message directly to the subconscious mind. And this subconscious mind is going to send this message to your conscious mind. And definitely your all the things, your actions will be working upon that. And when you take the actions according to your dreams, where you want to reach, definitely your dream will come true. This was not enough. I also believe in some of the techniques, as I have already mentioned in one meeting with this club, that I follow 369 technique that is quite popular with many by Nikola Tesla, and I always follow. Once I have used this technique by 369 and I suggested many people, but many people totally denied this 369 Nikola Tesla. They simply say by writing or visualizing something, can we manifest something? Why not? This is my question. Why not? But at least try it. When you visualize something, when you assume something, then definitely. But only one condition is that you have to take actions according. This visualization and manifesting anything is not going to do anything for you. So visualization with some appropriate actions is going to definitely make your dreams true. Thank you so much. It's over to you.
Thank you so much, Simran. I totally agree with you on the law of attraction. In fact, I have a simple formula for that. Your thoughts become your beliefs turn into action, and action gives you result. So it's a total chain. You take anything out and the whole thing goes for a toss. So if your thoughts are wrong, you will not have the right beliefs, and if you do not have the right beliefs, you will not go for an action, or the action will be wrong and the results will not come. So if you have all these four things in place, 100% you will succeed. I will like to ask for another member or a guest to volunteer so that we can have one more session.
I'll be happy to take.
Okay, so I will be calling Dishant Batra. Dishant, you can select one of the number, leave aside 1, 2, 5, and 6.
7.
Sorry?
7.
7. Your topic for today would be, for you personally, what makes today worth living? I will again repeat the subject. For you personally, what makes today worth living? Over to you, Dishant.
Yeah. There's a very famous quote by Charlie Munger: go to bed smarter than when you woke up. So this thing motivates me and keep me happy and helps me to continue doing things that I do in my daily routine by going to gym and by especially evaluating on my current communication skills, working on that, watching videos for how can I improve on my communication skills, and whatever the skills that I'm lacking in my professional career, I try to work on that. So this is a code that I always look after that, and I hope and with this code I keep motivated myself and using this. So thank you.
Thank you, Dishant. It was a good try, and I guess you are going to improve your skills as we move forward. I would like to call another guest or a member to volunteer for the last topic of the day. Okay, Pradeep, you can unmute yourself and select one of the topic. Leave aside 1, 2, 5, 6, and 7.
Topic number 3.
Okay, Toastmaster Pradeep, your topic is, what is your happiest childhood memory? What makes it so special? I'll again repeat. What is your happiest childhood memory? What makes it so special? Over to you, Toastmaster Pradeep.
Oh, thank you, Kabir, for this wonderful topic. And I'm upbeat about it because this is my first meeting and I got a beautiful topic here. So, if I recall my childhood, there were many memories, right? And we did a lot of fun. I had a beautiful childhood full of happiness and, naughtiness. But I think if I need to really pick when I was really the happiest one, I think I will go back to almost, in the year of 96, 97, I guess, wherein I won the first ever National Taekwondo Championship as a gold medal. And at the same time, I was awarded as the best, fighter as well. But I think it took me almost, 4 years of hard work and dedication to reach at that level. And when I won that, I was on the top of the world. I felt that, oh, wow, this is a great deal for me. And then I went back home, I had so much, lovely meetings, conversations with my family members, with my coaches, with my colleagues. And it was all about the hard work, dedication, sacrifices we all together made to reach to a certain point. So I think that was one of the beautiful moments that I can't forget. And having said that, when the beautiful moments are there in life, it doesn't come easy. Sometimes you really have to work hard for that. You have to earn those moments. And once you earn those moments, you will always cherish those moments for a life. And that's what was my learning. So I always try, what is it that I can put my efforts into, and probably later on my life, I can cherish those memories as well. So having said that, I will give it back to you, Toastmaster Kabir. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pradeep. Actually, your table topic speech was an inspiration, and we are all very upbeat. And frankly telling you, badminton and wrestling, they are two different sports. They require different capabilities, different skills. Badminton requires speed, it requires a lot of endurance, and wrestling requires a lot of bulk, strength, and skills differently. And then you are very good in public speaking also. So you are an example for all of us. So I think that's a very good speech that you gave. Thank you so much. And with this, I will pass on this to Toastmaster Rohan, Toastmaster of the day, to take it forward. Thank you so much for giving us an opportunity.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kabir, for giving such wonderful and insightful topics. And we got to learn more about our Toastmasters members and guests through your topics. So thank you so much for for playing your role as table topic master so wonderfully and so beautifully. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kabir. Before we move ahead, I'd like all of you to vote for the best table topic speaker. The polls will be on your screen right now. All right, so as things are slowly coming back to normal, as we're moving from working from home to slowly gathering around in offices and doing a hybrid sort of thing, I would like to ask all of you, what are you looking forward to on going back to work in a physical way rather than a virtual manner? What will be different for you? What are you looking forward to? What are you not looking forward to? Any thoughts? Anyone?
I won't sit alone and work. There will be people around me.
Absolutely, very well put. Anyone else? Yes, Kabir sir.
I like to drive to the office. That is one thing I like, and I also love to travel outside of the city to different states. So aeroplane journey, having breakfast at the airport, getting down and checking into the hotel, and then going for meetings, and maybe having lunches and dinners with the partners and customers. That really charges me up.
Wow, you seem to have a really busy schedule. I just go to
No,
the
no,
office,
it
come
is
back home.
not busy, Rohan. You're wrong. It is lavish schedule.
No, it is a combination of everything. It is a combination of getting down at the airport, going to the partner straight, going to the hotel, putting in your luggage, and going for lunches, breakfast, and dinner, all with partners, customers, and sleeping late at night, finishing all the meals, and getting up early to again start the day. So when you are traveling, you have a lot of discomfort, but then you miss it after some time when you are not doing it. That's what is happening today.
Toastmaster Kabir is missing the experience that he had for meeting and all those office activities.
Toastmaster Gopal, it's a combination of a lot of things. It's a chain,
Right.
as I said, thoughts, beliefs, action, and result. Same kind of thing. When you don't have meetings, you don't have customer meetings, partner meetings, and you don't have lunches and all. So your business also goes down a little, which has happened, 10, 15, 20% kind of, because of the market situation and volatility of the market. And so I am hoping things become normal and we start going out, and our children go to school, we go to our offices, and our normal life comes back. We do not have a threat to our life, which we feel sometimes today.
Yes, of course. When we are going physically in the office, we can meet anyone anytime. But when we are working from home, first we have to call and we have to discuss whether we have time or not. That kind of problems comes up. Otherwise, we go to their seat and just start discussing how about this or how about that, what is the status. That kind of stuff is of course missing. There is work from home. There is difference between the work from home and the working from office. Working from office is far better. There are pros and cons, both are there.
I would like to share something. I was hating work from home in the beginning, but then with time I realized the amount of flexibility that it has given me. I like traveling, so I went on a vacation there for around three to 4 weeks, and I worked from the mountains. And I mean, I'm working, and there are mountains in front of me, and I can work from anywhere, any place, and I can go and explore the culture of that place, and still there is no loss, though no work loss. So I'm liking that thing about that, the amount of flexibility that I have got when I'm working from home.
Yes, actually, flexibility is one of the factors we all want. But work from home is totally different. It's not flexibility. There should be a hybrid approach where if you have some work at home, then you can do work from home. Otherwise, you have to come at office. That is perfectly fine, because I have worked in such company where there were lots of flexibility. Whenever you want to do work from home, you can do that. If you want to come at 12 o'clock and go at night 9, then it is fine. That flexibility we should have. But work from home cultural is not correct. My personal choice. Everyone have their own point of view, different perception. But yes, work from home is good for those who are coming from outside of Delhi NCR. Now they can do work from home from their hometown. That is really holy grail for them.
Yes, so also for introverts, work from home is a boon because we don't have to meet people going outside.
and also for people who do not do work from home, but they do work for home. Sitting at home.
It happens.
Especially for those who travel 4 hours a day to just go to office, like we used to do.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing your perspectives. And now we move on to the final section of our Toastmasters meeting. So in an office, you get evaluated maybe once a year. You get a 360-degree feedback from your manager, from your colleagues. But a Toastmasters meeting is different because you get evaluated every single meeting on every single thing that you do on every time you come on the stage. So with that, I'd like to call upon on the stage our general evaluator, Toastmaster Simran, to take it forward.
Thank you once again, Toastmaster Rohan, and I was literally enjoying this upbeat session, all the sessions like table topic models session and Toastmaster Rohan's questions, everything. And now it's my turn to ask and to give evaluation. So I'm very happy for this. But being a general evaluator, it's my duty to give opportunity first to all the evaluators. Then I will be giving all the my report. So first, let me call our our first evaluator, who was Toastmaster. Who was who was Toastmaster Sagar Bhalla. So Toastmaster Sagar Bhalla, it goes to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for calling me on this stage. First of all, I want to congratulate the speaker for completing one more speech. I know how much hard work it requires to complete a speech. As per the speech level, speaker has done the wonders today. Speaker has shared a message in her speech. And speaker made sure it depend upon us how we want to convey the message so other person can understand. No means no, yes means yes. And our message can be conveyed through the gestures. Verbally, it depends upon us only. So kudos to you for describing that. Moving ahead, speaker was superbly confident throughout her speech. It was like speaker has done the proper research on the content and portrayed in front of the audience today. Again, amazing job done by you. Talking about the hand gesture, speaker hand gesture were totally in command with the speech. Good job done by you on that again. Speaker was fluent throughout her speech, no pauses, nothing. Good voice modulation, speaker was lowering her voice where she want to and raising where she has to, so she can properly convey her message to the audience. Now, I want to put light on some points which I felt was missing from her speech. First, do not close your eyes while you're speaking. Whenever you are close your eyes, it seems like you are losing the confidence, though you was not losing the confidence at all. You can correct it by standing in front of the mirror. Second, try to move when you are speaking. If you will move, you will see automatically, you will get the confidence. You will start enjoying your speech. If you will stand at one place and speak, after some time, you will get serious automatically. It's natural. Try to move, divide your speech as per you. The last point, and I think it's the most important point, whenever you are coming on this stage, when you are get the opportunity, first try to greet the audience. The moment you will greet the audience, you will get the attention as much as you can. Overall, a good speech, a very insightful content you have shared us today. I wish you best of luck for your upcoming speeches. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sagar. And now we would like to move our next evaluator, who was Toastmaster Abhijit Nath. So this stage totally goes to you, Toastmaster Abhijit Nath.
2 years back, my world also fallen apart when I got to know my best friend backstabbed me and he was gossiping against me in my back. And today, when I listened to Toastmaster Vandita's speech, I completely correlated with the same amount of feeling I had felt that day. Kudos to you, Vandita, the way you showcased your life story with some takeaway messages at the end of your speech. I will be evaluating your speech on the basis of the CRC approach. The first, I'd like to talk about the points that I like the most about your speech. Your smiling face. Throughout your speech, you had a smiling face, and that captivated the audience entirely. Second is how calmly you handled the questions. The questions came out of the blue, and you spoke every question in a very calmly and composed way. You are not at all in a moment that you felt something hesitant. Kudos to you on this. Third thing is the eye contact. You had a decent eye contact. You looked into the people of a camera, but we felt connected throughout your speech. Fourth is the example you given by the Olympic champions and all. It was all impromptu, and it was very apt with the questions was getting asked for you. Now, what would engage me more? One is if you could remove your glass when you are delivering your speech, you could have much more eye contact. When you are delivering a speech, you did not to wear a glass as because you have to focus on the people of a camera. So you can mark those area that where you should look. And if you are just not wearing the mask, it will not give you the glittery effect. The eye contact will be much more. Second thing is voice modulation. Throughout your speech, there were so many highs and lows, like left behind in the dark. I took a chair. I could not sleep. You became division champion. If on those particular points you could use some high pitches and low pitches, it could have much more engaging for the audience. And last recommendations would be, when you are introducing the character in your speech, try to give some kind of background against it. I was not at all getting the point of your teacher, who was also serving in the Toastmasters, was also in your college. So the thing is that you already gone through this phase, but we are, as a listener, wasn't there. So it's your responsibility to carry us with your story. So if you could have built up these stories in a better way, it would have been much more engaging. So all in all, it was a great speech. Throughout your speech, you had a smiling face. You had good clarity of your thoughts when you asked the questions. But you could avoid using glasses when you're delivering your speech, and a bit of uses of voice modulation and character build-up could make you even more greater speaker in upcoming days. Congratulations for finishing off your project. I would love to listen to your more speeches in future. Over to you, the general evaluator.
Toastmaster Simran, you are on mute. Okay, she's dropped out. Okay, I'll continue with my report as table topic evaluator. Firstly, Toastmaster Gopal, your topic was biggest phobia. Now, I like the fact that Toastmaster Gopal started off, he didn't immediately dive into the topic, but he started off by saying that I have to find a phobia and I have to think about it. And when he took a couple of seconds to do that, he set the context very well for the audience to understand where he's coming from and why is he saying what he did. So kudos to you, Toastmaster Gopal, for using that strategy, so to say, using that mindset to go into the speech with being vulnerable on the stage to the audience. So great job done, Toastmaster Gopal. After a few seconds, then Toastmaster Gopal dived into, he picked a topic that he was afraid, he had a phobia of heights and going off to higher floors. And he described the entire process of his mindset behind that. So great job done, Toastmaster Gopal. Secondly, Toastmaster Chintan. Toastmaster Chintan's topic was life lesson learned the hard way. Now I noticed that Toastmaster Chintan had several different aspects that he mentioned throughout the speech. One lesson was health. The other was he was improving on something. So I would suggest Toastmaster Chintan to build a more structured approach to table topics. Probably introduce yourself, pick one, let's say health, and talk about how you are building that in the body of your speech. So take 1.5 minutes to do that, and then conclude with a takeaway as to what you're doing now and what you look to achieve so far in the future. So that is one recommendation for Toastmaster Chintan. The third was Toastmaster Abhijit. Fantastic take on table topics. Toastmaster Abhijit, he started off with a takeaway for the audience. He asked a question. He structured his speech around health, and he closed with a takeaway. And topic was what motivates Abhijit to be the best. So kudos to Toastmaster Abhijit for handling it in such a structured way and portraying confidence and a rich content throughout your speech. Fourth was Toastmaster Simran, one belief that you hold, which other people may disagree. Toastmaster Simran immediately dived into the law of attraction and expanded on what the concept was and ended with a takeaway. So great structured speech, Toastmaster Simran. No recommendations for you. Fifth was Toastmaster Dishant. Toastmaster Dishant, he mentioned the Charlie Munger quote and he dived straight into it. What I would recommend Toastmaster Dishant is, you've talked about the quote and how and a surface level understanding of not how, but what it did to you, but talk about, you have to stretch that story. Like, how did you use that particular quote and what way did you use it and how effective was it in your life? So probably highlight an experience or an example from your personal life that highlights this particular quote that you mentioned by Charlie Munger. Great start, great finish, but expand on it and talk about how that happened so that the audience relates to your content. Lastly, Pradeep, happiest childhood memory. Great work done, Toastmaster Pradeep. He had an anchor throughout his speech, which was hard work, and he portrayed that lessons through his journey. It was very well structured. He started off by describing his happiest memory and then talked about his experience and what he took away from that memory. So great work done, Toastmaster Pradeep. I now hand over, I don't know if Simran is here or not. Okay, let me check. Till then, please vote for the best evaluator. Please vote, 5 more votes to go. All right, till you all are voting, I think Toastmaster Simran is facing some technical glitches. So I'd like to call on first the active listener, Toastmaster Dishant, to deliver his active listener report and give you some virtual appreciation.
So I will be asking some questions around the discussion that happened in the meeting. So my first question is that speaker 1 and speaker 2, which pathway both are doing? They were doing. Any idea? Can someone raise the hand? Any guess?
Oh, Dishant, can I continue? Actually, I have some issue with my camera, so I can. Coaching pathway?
It's effective coaching. Yeah. The next question is, in which organization Suchita works? Any idea? Yeah.
I was the TMOD, so I know. I think Toastmaster Kabir raised his hand.
Yeah. Toastmaster Kabir.
TCS.
Yeah. In which group he works? Any idea?
Diversity and inclusion.
Yeah. Good. The next question is, which Toastmaster have used the idiom first? The idiom was take the bull by the horns. Yeah. That's the Ranjit, you can answer.
PM Gopal.
Master Kabir. So it's from my side.
Dishant, go ahead.
Yeah, this from my side.
Okay, great, awesome. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dishant, for such a wonderful session, and kudos to you for taking the first step. It's your first role today, so great job done being a debutant role taker. So thank you so much for doing that. I'd now like to call on the grammarian, Toastmaster Simranji, to deliver a grammarian report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rohan. Sorry, I cannot switch on my camera. I'm facing some issue. I'll continue like that. Okay, so first I would be listing all the good usages with words and phrases. So here it goes. So there were usages like utterly, break a norm, turbulence, tables may rotate, mold that society has given them, mockery on the spectrum, pave the way, dilemma, relentlessly, blood and sweat, feathers of dreams, harness, revive, keeping yourself equipped. And I would like to list down not so good usages, like he will lead to disqualification could have been, he will be disqualified. Phobia about studies would have been phobia of studies. Looking at down south could have been look down. go on hill station could have been go to a hill station. You inspires me could have been you inspired me. Good at education could have been good at studies. Charges me up could have been charge me up. Put light could have been throw light. And would engage could have been would have engaged. And I would like to appreciate the people who have used the word of the day and the idiom of the day. So the word of the day have been used by Toastmaster Kabir, Toastmaster Chintan, Toastmaster Pradeep, and Toastmaster Simran Kumari. And the idiom of the day was used by Toastmaster Kabir twice and Toastmaster Chintan once. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Simranjeet, for a Gamanian report. I'd now like to call another debutant Toastmaster who's taking her first role today, Toastmaster Neha as the counter. Please help me welcome her on the virtual stage.
Oh, thank you, Rohan. But I have some issues with my camera, so I cannot switch on my camera. But yes, I'm sharing my screen. I'm starting from the general evaluator. General evaluator TM Simran Kumari use one crutch and one filler word. Total 2 words she used. Timer Chintan didn't use any filler word or any crutch sound during the its timer role. And Grammarian Simran used only 2 filler words, which is 2. It's 2 only. And active listener Dishant uses one crutch word only during his active listener role. Moving to the speaker 1, first speaker of the day, TM Suchi Jan. She used 4 filler words and 1 unintentional pauses, in total 5. And second speaker, Vandita Shukla, used 5 crutch word sounds and 7 filler words, total 13. Moving to evaluators. First evaluator, TM Sagar, used 2 unintentional pauses and 2 filler words. And second evaluator, TM Abhijit, used only 1 crutch word. TM Rohan, during able topic evaluation session, used 1 and 2 buts and 2 filler words like and, total 5 words. TM Kabir, during his table topic master session, used 4 crutch words and 4 filler words, total 8. TM Gopal, during the table topic speaker, uses 5 crutch words and 2 filler words. TM Chintan used 5 crutch words and 2 filler words. TM Abhijit used 3 filler words only. And TM Toastmaster Simran used 1 crutch word and 3 filler words. Second last is Dishant. He used 3 crutch sounds and 4 filler words. And last, Toastmaster Pradeep. He's fluent. There is no crutch word and filler word during his speech. Thank you, Rohan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Neha. A huge round of applause for Toastmaster Neha for debut role in Toastmasters Delhi. Keep doing this good work, Neha. Thank you so much. I'd now like to invite the final auxiliary role player for today, Toastmaster Chintan, to deliver his timer report, please. Chintan, you're on mute.
Yeah, so my screen is visible?
Yes.
Yeah, so both the speeches today were so powerful and upbeat in the character. The first speaker used 6 minutes and 32 seconds. The second speaker Toastmaster Vandana, used 23 minutes 11 seconds. Regarding table topics, Toastmaster Gopal had used 1 minute 35 seconds. Myself had consumed 2 minutes 8 seconds, and I thank you, Toastmaster Rohan, for timing me. Toastmaster Abhijit had used 2 minutes 20 seconds. Toastmaster Simran has used 2 minutes. Toastmaster Dishant had used only 55 seconds. Toastmaster Pradeep had used 1 minute 41 seconds. Coming to evaluation part, Toastmaster Sagar explained the evaluation in 2 minutes 20 seconds. Toastmaster Abhijit consumed 3 minutes 20 seconds. And Toastmaster Rohan, as a table topic evaluator, used 3 minutes 27 seconds. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rohan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chintan. I'd like all of you to vote for the best auxiliary role player. The polls are on your screen now. All right, since the GE is facing some technical issues, I'll take over the role of GE as well. Firstly, both the evaluators did such a fantastic job highlighting the commendations and recommendations. They were to the point. They had a structured evaluation by what they noticed, how they how that affected the speech, and what recommendations they could give to the speaker. So excellent job done. Excellent job done by both the evaluators. Coming to the role players, firstly, the active listener. Toastmaster Jishan, this was your first role, so kudos to you firstly for taking up the role. One recommendation for you, you had a lot more time. You had around 4 minutes to do the active listener role. So ideally, what we could do is have 6 or 7 more questions to ask the audience and engage the audience. Secondly, it's also good to mention the fact, before you start your questions, it's good to mention the fact that there are 2 rules that everyone has to raise their hand, and you will pick whoever has to answer, otherwise it gets chaotic. Today it wasn't so, but generally just as a thumb rule for active listener role. Secondly, Grammarian did a good job of highlighting the good usage and the not so good usage of the English language. What I like the fact that she also did not mention the names when she was mentioning not so good usage. One recommendation is also highlight the use of regional languages throughout your report, because this is an English speaking club, and whenever someone uses, there were 2-3 instances where someone used Hindi. So I really mention that and say that this has to be translated to English. So just one recommendation. Overall, great report by the comedian. Coming to Toastmaster Neha, very detailed report in the Excel and amazing tracking skills throughout the meeting, and she tracked each and every filler word and clutch sound of each speaker and filled it in the Excel and displayed a report beautifully. So congratulations, Toastmaster Neha. Finally, Toastmaster Chintan had a wonderful timer report and delivered it in a very concise manner. So great job done, Toastmaster Chintan, as well. Overall feedback on the meeting started right on time, 3:30. Sergeant Arms was very energetic. So Toastmaster Simranji took the SA role for the first time today. So great job done on that. As the presiding officer and TMOD, I welcome your feedback because I don't have any feedback for myself at this point. So the table topic master followed the convention exactly to the book. He introduced the speakers in the proper naming convention with Toastmaster, speech title, Toastmaster. So great job done. Also, one recommendation for the table topic speaker is add a bit of element of why table topics are important daily life, and just highlight how it helps Toastmasters and guests when they attempt, how it transfers to real life. So that is just one recommendation for the table topic master. With that, the videos were on throughout most of the meeting for the speakers as well. So that is my recommendation. That is all for my report as the general evaluator. All right, coming to the end. Now, this is the conclusion of the meeting. As Michael Scott says, an office is a place where dreams come true. We've talked about so many different perspectives of our members and guests, talking about how it feels like going to the office, what are the different perspectives from work from home and between work from home and physical office. But an office is so much more. Today, you have the option to design your career, to design your own office. Today, you have so many choices, so many options to choose your career and build an office wherever you want to. So that is the motivation I want to leave you all with is all the traditional norms have gone out of the window. You have so many different options today, so many different career choices today, and so many possibilities or endless possibilities of building and designing your own life. So with that, I end my time as Toastmaster of the day. Hope you all are keen to move to a physical office versus a virtual office in the coming few months. I know I am. So with that, I end my time as Toastmaster of the day. And I like all of you to vote for the best role player also. You have 30 seconds to do so. All right, please vote. All right, the votes are in. Before I proceed, are there any guests left in the meeting? Let me check. All right, we are all team audience, so I'll just quickly move to the results. Just give me a second. All right, any guesses for best auxiliary role player? Come on, guys, switch on your videos and participate. Any guesses?
Simranji.
Yes, it's Toastmaster Simranji. Congratulations. Best table topic speaker. Any guesses who could it be?
Ravi or Dishant.
Okay. Any more?
Abhijit.
Okay. It's Toastmaster Pradeep. Congratulations. Best evaluator. I won't make you guess because it's me. Best role player. Any guesses?
It's you again.
No, it's not me. Otherwise, I wouldn't make you guess. It's Toastmaster Kabir as the debutant table topic master. Congratulations, Toastmaster Kabir. Best speaker.
Shruti.
It's Toastmaster. Oh, sorry. It's Toastmasters G. I'm sorry, that was my mistake. Toastmaster Suchi is the best speaker. I'll change the certificate and send it to her. Congratulations.
Rohan, you can give that. Rohan, you can give that to me. No problem. I will be very thankful.
I'll give it to you in advance. Toastmaster Kabir in advance. Certificate in advance. Okay. All right. Congratulations to all the speakers and to all the participants. We had a great meeting today. Although the numbers are now half of the participants have exited the meeting due to technical issues. So with this, we conclude today's meeting of Toastmasters of Delhi. Just one quick reminder, tomorrow at 12 p.m., we have a very exciting debate session at the Impromptu Hive, which Impromptu Hive is our weekly initiative on Sunday at 12 p.m. So if you'd like to participate in the debate, you can do so on WhatsApp. I think all of you are on the Toastmaster Delhi group. So if you'd like to participate, you can message me on WhatsApp and I'll send you the link to join. It's tomorrow at 12 p.m. We have the speakers already. So if you'd like to participate in rebuttals or just witness a conversation of different perspectives, please do join in. So that was from